Sounds good. We'll go ahead and get started. We'll take a couple questions in the room, and then we have a bunch of hands up on Zoom. So we'll start here in the room. Any questions before we start? Go ahead.
Coach, you're on a 5-game win streak. Your offense has taken significant jumps. What can you attribute to that improvement?
Time, honestly, just time and getting rest with each other. With a short training camp, you try to put in a lot of things, but not overload them. At the end of the day, also just letting the hoopers hoop, putting them in space, and obviously giving them parameters and understanding where we like to cut and how we want to play, but just kind of keeping it simple. I think that's helped, but the chemistry is forming because we've had some games. We had some tough games. We've been battle tested early, and I think we're finding ways to be successful on the offensive end.
And you have 4 players in the top 15 in defensive win share.
Mm-hmm.
How much of the defensive side of the ball has been a focus?
But it's the main focus. That's where we start. We will hang our hat on the defensive end of the side of the basketball because we have the athletes who can impact in a lot of ways, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's being connected as a unit. We're also doing a better job of rebounding this year. And so if we're disruptive, if we're in rotations, we're able to finish off plays. I think the other thing is just the communication and the confidence level that they're finding with each other, knowing that as he is the anchor, she has our back. If we mess up a lot, which we do, she can correct a lot of those things. But it's a mindset. It starts with Skylar on the ball and really impacting there, and it trickles down to everyone on the floor.
When you look at your schedule, the early on, you mentioned the struggles early on. They came against teams that right now are in the top 4 or 5, and then your winning streak is teams that are struggling in the win-loss column. Do you take that into consideration, or you just look at your own team, the progress it's made, and hope now going against this, the first winning team and however long they put it to work?
Yeah, I mean, we're realistic. We understand what this league is and who we're playing, but for this team who is new, and getting a chance to learn each other, we'll take progress is what it is that we are getting better every single day. We are very well aware that these games are measuring sticks, even starting with Phoenix. The last game, they're a tough team who beat Vegas. And so coming into Vegas, we understand it's a tough environment, but also it will indicate where we are. We know that we aren't where we want to be quite yet, but we are trending in the right direction, and going up against the defending champs will show us a lot, or tell us a lot about ourselves.
Let's take a couple on Zoom. Percy and then Jeff. Percy, go ahead.
Hey there, Coach. The other day we talked about Asia, and you said, like you love her game as a fan, but when you have to coach against her, she brings you sort of nightmares. Sort of like in keeping with that theme, what is it about the Aces that may give a coach sleepless nights before you face them?
They've played together for quite some time, and so they're just a veteran group that understands each other and how to play basketball. I also told you that Asia's game is complete, and a couple of years ago, it's maybe you can sag off a little bit and entice the jumper, entice the three. Can't do that this year because she's very efficient there. One-on-one, and everything that she does, honestly, is with intent, and she's a tough cover. But then you add in an efficiency from the three-point line from Plum and Jackie and AC. Then you add in a tough defensive unit because Stokes is everywhere and can impact the basketball. They have solid pieces all around, and it's just very tough covers from every position.
So then three keys for tonight would be what?
Transition defense for us. That's where they thrive, getting downhill, getting into the paint, and also the three-point line. So we have to make sure we're matching up, talking, and making it tough on that end of the floor. They don't turn the ball over at a high clip. So we have to make sure we're kind of impacting the ball where we can. And like I said, just continue to finish our plays with rebounding. And then on the opposite side of the ball, we have to take care of the basketball because we understand that every possession matters, not just because it's Commissioner Cup, but because it's a team that can get rolling if we make a lot of mistakes in a row. And then also they have to guard us too. So offensively, making sure we're aggressive, but also moving the ball, making sure they're defending longer in the shot clock than kind of taking quick shots.
There you go. Thank you, Coach.
Of course.
Thanks, Percy. Jeff, and then Christian.
Yeah, with Asia Wilson, obviously she's leading the WNBA in scoring. No one's going to be able to completely shut her down. What are some kind of keys to just limiting, instead of having her have a game of 30 points or whatever, maybe closer to 20, 18?
Like I said one time, like last year, pray that she is having an off night. It's going to be a team effort. I'll say that it's not going to be one individual. It's about tendencies and understanding, what she likes, whether it's, her one-on-one isolations, which way she likes to go, or her movement on the block. I think maybe where we can get her is to have her a little bit more. So in the past, maybe she's playing against Ezzy and maybe can not rest, but help a little bit more. But now maybe putting Ezzy in some action so that Asia has to be a little bit more locked in defensively, maybe get her on that end of the floor. But as it relates to her offense, just crowding her and knowing her tendencies and just making it tough for her.
And Jackie Young continues to grow and develop every single year. What is kind of the growth you've seen from her? And also, do you see any similarities between her early years and Jordan Horston?
Jackie's early years and Jordan?
Yeah.
It's an interesting comparison. The kind of different players, I think, Jordan has worked on her shot a little bit this offseason. She's athletically gifted and way more raw than I feel like Jackie was coming into this league. And obviously Jordan's 6'2", Jackie is a little bit smaller, but I think the path of, where Jordan can be in this league is to continue to develop as Jackie did. Jackie's playing the point guard a lot more, which she has reps with. She's had reps with in college, and so it's not unfamiliar. But I just think she is just also complete and confident in what she's doing. A lot more comfort in the mid-range. It's not just straight line drives this year. It's patience, reading ball screens, and 15-footers are super solid. Obviously, the three ball is always going to be there, and her strength to the rim is always going to be there. But I feel like there's a different pace about her. She's kind of reading defenses and slowing down in the middle of her game, which is something that I feel like she's added. I can be wrong, but it is what I see. And then just what she does in transition. She continues to improve every year. She's strong as hell. So her finishing against bigs and against guards, no matter the size, is always a challenge because of her strength.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jeff. And we got time for just two more questions. So we'll go one, Christian, and then Nikias will wrap us up.
Hey, Coach, I was just wondering, how was the trip down from Seattle? And, I saw a clip of the team practicing. I think it was before coming to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And you were just really rallying everybody around you. Everyone really just seemed to hone in on what you were saying at that moment of the message. And I was just wondering, as a coach, as leader of this team, what would you say your purpose is?
Yeah, great question. The trip down to Seattle was cool. It's always good to be on a charter and have leg space and all those things, not have to worry about waiting in the airport. So it was pretty smooth. Sorry, from Seattle. Hopefully I said that right. My purpose in life is to be a light. I know that. And my purpose in coaching is to share that light and impact my players, not just on the basketball court, but as individuals in life, as human beings. We play basketball, but that's not who we are. And I try to live in that purpose every single day. I try to make sure my players understand who I am. My purpose is to guide and be a servant leader and to give them everything I have so that they can perform at a high level, obviously with basketball. But when they leave my presence or they experience me and leave my presence, I want to make sure that I have impacted them in a major way. So that's my purpose. That's what I live in every single day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Christian. And Nikias, wrap us up.
Feel bad following it out with basketball. But Skylar is certainly looking more comfortable over the last few games. And it feels like you've gotten a lot of mileage out of a really low set on the floor pick and roll with her, kind of inside the arc around the block area. What makes that so difficult for defenses to contend with?
Because it's below the free throw line, a lot of times we extend the nail. So the nail help has to make a decision. Do I go help or do I stay with the shooter? And if you want to double team, she's very strong to deliver the ball either early. We kind of manipulate the backside so that the low man coverage is a guard and not really a big. But then she's also aggressive enough to, if a big switches or if they, whatever coverage, a drop or whatever you see, she's aggressive enough and talented enough to make a read either to the rim or dumping it to the pick and roll player or going into the next action. So because of the area of the floor that it's in, it creates a super advantage for her. And it's like pick your poison in that instance.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. We'll see you post game.
Thank you.